Caribbean Newsline is brought to you by the Barbados Tourism Marketing Inc.
Muslims in Barbados report increased U.S. visa denials and revocations. That's our top story in Caribbean Newsline for Wednesday, February 1. From the CMC News Center in Bridgetown, I'm Nicole Best. Good evening. U.S. President Donald Trump has insisted his temporary ban on entry to people from 7 majority Muslim countries is not a Muslim ban. But according to Secretary of the Barbados Muslim Association, Suleiman Bulbulia, an increasing number of Barbadian Muslims are having their U.S. visas revoked. He says there's also an upsurge in the number of applications being denied in recent weeks. And that was even before President Trump signed the executive order temporarily banning citizens of Yemen, Iraq, Sudan, Syria, Somalia, Iran, and Libya from entering the U.S. Bulbulia says he anticipates even tougher times ahead for local Muslims looking to travel to the United States.
The situation will get even worse, and it will perhaps, drive more people not to want to travel there. We are concerned of the incidences of backlash from a lot of the rhetoric that is being spoken. We know of a situation in Quebec, Canada last night where persons came into a mosque and gunned down several people there. There was a mosque that was burnt in Texas a few days ago. We have had harassment of Muslim women, especially who are visible because they wear the headscarf. There was an incident a few days ago in New York at the airport there. But we are also heartened by the overwhelming and outpouring of support that are coming from ordinary Americans against the Trump administration and against these policies, and are coming out in support of Muslims and Muslim refugees and persons from the Muslim world.
Meantime, St. Kitts and Nevis opposition leader Dr. Denzel Douglas says he fears the ban could have an effect on the island's tourism and education sectors. Speaking on his weekly radio program, Dr. Douglas questioned whether the Twin Island Federation, as well as the rest of the Caribbean, would eventually be negatively impacted, stressing that one of the important pillars of the St. Kitts and Nevis economy is tourism and hospitality services. He said freedom of travel and freedom of movement into the country were therefore vital, as some people have to go through the U.S. to get to the island. He also noted that with several overseas medical schools based in St. Kitts and Nevis, he was unsure of what would be the status of overseas students who may come from the countries named in the ban. Jamaican immigration attorney Wayne Golden says he does not believe the executive orders issued by President Donald Trump will affect Jamaicans who go to the U.S. for work. There have been questions about the potential impact on people who participate in work and travel programs, as well as those who go for seasonal work. Hundreds of Jamaicans participate in these programs each year, and Golden says these people should not worry. But he says all immigrants should be prepared for additional screening when they travel to the U.S.
It's just that they're going to be under closer scrutiny. Of course, when you're coming in, they're going to want to make sure that you're coming into work, that you are not going to stay here after your time is up, or you're going to run off a contract, stuff like that. So I would suggest that people who are coming in on those programs, especially now, they have all of their documentation ready to show and have all the questions in mind that they're going to be asked. So they can be very truthful and honest. And I really don't see it affecting hotel workers in this way, unless you've traveled to any of these 7 countries. It might cast extra light on you.
The Trinidad and Tobago government now has confirmed that more than 100 nationals are involved in terrorist activities overseas. National Security Minister Edmund Dillon made the disclosure in the Senate on Tuesday, a day after Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley dismissed statements made on a U.S. television program about terror group ISIS having members in the Twin Island Republic.
Approximately 130 nationals who have left Trinidad and Tobago to involve in terrorist activities in the countries apart away from Trinidad and Tobago.
That figure reflects approximately 70 adults and 58 family members. And the state, he says, is heavily dependent on foreign agencies to give an indication of how many nationals are engaged in terrorist activities.
People would leave Trinidad and Tobago, sometimes on a destination not mentioned. They may leave, for instance, Trinidad and Tobago to go to England, and they end up in Syria, so that their intended destination is sometimes not known to us.
The National Security Minister was responding to questions in the Senate when he was asked about the legitimacy of Nance's statement.
We were unable to say whether the correctness of Mr. Malcolm Nance's statement, for the mere reason that we do not have information on the 7 countries that he has compared Trinidad and Tobago with.
Over the weekend, the MSNBC contributor was discussing an executive order by U.S. President Donald Trump banning citizens from 7 countries, namely Syria, Iraq, Iran, Libya, Somalia, Sudan, and Yemen, when he said this.
We haven't banned terrorists from Brazil. ISIS has dozens of members from Brazil, or Trinidad, or the Bahamas, who have more terrorist members than any of those other countries.
In response, the Office of the Prime Minister and the Ministry of National Security issued statements. However, neither publicly called on Nance to apologize.
And that report was from Rio Rambali of CNC3 News. Anti-corruption institutions in Grenada are seeking an explanation from the Transparency International after it ranked the island 46th in its 2016 Corruption Perception Index released last week. The Financial Intelligence Unit and the Integrity Commission say the ranking is surprising given that Grenada has made significant and consistent strides in strengthening its anti-corruption mechanism over the past 5 years. As an example, they said Grenada has ratified the Organization of American States Inter-American Convention Against Corruption and the United Nations Convention Against Corruption. The anti-corruption bodies questioned the format Transparency International used to arrive at its conclusion. They say while they understand that the rankings are based on perception and not raw data, they nonetheless will request from Transparency International the information which formed the empirical basis for ranking Grenada. Transparency International Perception 2016 Index ranked Grenada at 46 out of 176 countries with a score of 56. Coming up in Caribbean Newsline, the Haitian government condemns acts of vandalism by protesting students. Stay with us. There's more news after the break.
Ciao, Bella! Grab your girlfriends because we're all heading to the Concord Experience for the Girlfriends Expo and Arts Festival to experience La Dolce Vita. Yes, the sweet life. It's wine, cheese, pasta, pizza, plus the flavor and culture of Italy, while exploring the many deals from our exciting exhibitors. Saturday, February 4th and Sunday, February 5th, check out the all-new Arts Village, specialty events, seminars, the charity brunch, and the Vagina Monologues. We can't forget the fashion show. Live music and more on the Neutrogena main stage. Get your early bird tickets now for only $20 from all TicketPal and Italia Coffee locations, or enjoy the all-inclusive VIP foodie experience for only $75. Art parties, rejuvenation, shopping, paparazzi, and good friends. It's Girlfriends Expo and Arts Festival, La Dolce Vita. Thanks to IGM, Purity Bakeries, Y103.3 FM, NCF, and Trident 10 TV.
Straight out of the bodacious and beautiful culture of the Caribbean comes a music and talent competition like no other. Brace yourself for the exciting, entertaining, extraordinary, and new reality docuseries, Icon of the Islands. The story begins in the breathtaking backdrop of the U.S. Virgin Islands. Every year, this is where a wide and diverse range of contestants of all ages and backgrounds audition for a wildly popular and prominent local talent competition. And the ultimate goal for each contestant is to win.
I already have my favorites, but my favorites may not prevail tonight.
Some moments will bring performers to their knees, while some performances will bring fans to their feet. Get ready to see which star will be the last one shining in the spotlight as the stars align this season on Icon of the Islands.
The Haitian government is condemning acts of vandalism by students protesting on Tuesday. Students of the École Normale Supérieure broke the main barriers to the Ministry of Education, and they also broke the windshields of several vehicles parked on the compound as they staged another street protest demanding that their teachers report for work. In a statement on Wednesday, the ministry said it respected the rights of people to assert their claims, but urged them to do so respectfully and within the limits of the law. This is the second straight week that students have been taking to the streets to demand that striking teachers get back to work. The teachers, mainly in the Petit Goave area, have not been attending classes, demanding the payment of arrears and letters of appointment. A two-day consultation on ending HIV and AIDS by 2030 is underway in Trinidad and Tobago. It is being led by faith-based organizations with assistance from the Pan-Caribbean Partnership Against HIV and AIDS. Over 50 religious and lay leaders representing different faiths and denominations across the Caribbean have gathered in Port of Spain to look at the specific role of faith-based organizations in ending the HIV epidemic by 2030. The conference will address recommendations from the UN High-Level 2016 Political Declaration and agree on strategies to promote healthy living for all age groups. It will also review best practices and identify gaps to be filled, resources required, and types of regional cooperation. Member of the Executive Planning Committee for the Caribbean Faith Leaders Consultation is Lorna Macpherson. She says she is happy that the consultation facilitates discussion not only about religion, but about all issues surrounding HIV and how it affects communities. A changing of the guard for the Barbados Defense Force. And that's after 40 years at the helm. Chief of Staff Colonel Alvin Quintin and his deputy of 33 years, Commander Errington Sherland, were both given a military send-off. Mary-Claire Williams attended the special ceremony on Tuesday night and filed this report.
A final salute from Colonel Alvin Quintin, who stepped down as Chief of Staff of the Barbados Defense Force on Tuesday after 40 years of military service. His deputy, Commander Errington Sherland, also bade farewell after 33 years. There was a final inspection of the troops before Colonel Quintin handed over to his successor, Glenn Granham, at a change of command parade at BDF headquarters, St. Anne's Fort, located at the historic garrison. The parade comprised contingents from various arms of the BDF, including the Coast Guard, the Regiment Reserve, and Cadet Corps. Colonel Quintin's parting words to the soldiers were to continue to uphold the values of the force and conduct themselves as military professionals both on and off duty. The incoming Chief of Staff, Colonel Granham, pledged to build on the work of his predecessors.
As the force stands in defense of Barbados' values and interests, protect her as part of a joint interagency partnership, and a leader within the regional security system and the wider Caribbean, we will, of necessity, have at times to put ourselves uncomfortably in harm's way to achieve what is best for Barbados.
Colonel Granham will be the BDF's 5th Chief of Staff, and his last posting was Director of Operations and Plans at the Regional Security System over the last 2 years. His deputy, Commander Aquinas Clark, also served as Director of Operations and Plans at the RSS. Mary-Claire Williams, CMC News, Bridgetown.
Drug education officials in Grenada say they are seeing a trend of increasing numbers of females consuming alcohol. And Dave Alexander of the Drug Control Secretariat in the Ministry of Education says it is worrying. He says statistics are showing that while the consumption among school-aged males is decreasing, it is rising among females.
A combination of various data will show a number of things. One, that these young females, they have a greater disposable income. Many of them are working, etc. And so with that increase in the income, unavailability of money, basically, we've seen that they're able to purchase these stuff. Two, in the last 15 to 20 years in Grenada, we've seen the proliferation of nightclubs, the proliferation of fetes and parties and cruises, etc., which target, in particular, females.
Now, added to this, he says, is social transformation and a change in values among our people. Alexander noted that what is interesting is that consumption of alcohol by males of the same age group has seen a decrease.
If we look at the secondary schools data, for example, for the survey for 2013, while there was an overall decrease in the consumption of alcohol among students in our secondary schools, we observed that there was an increase, though, among the females. And that was interesting. There was a decrease among the males, but a decrease among the female students. And this continues with the general population. So clearly, the increase in consumption among females is one that has really caught our attention.
He says the situation remains very similar throughout the region. Some of the data was gathered from school surveys, treatment centers, and hospitals around the island. He remains hopeful that there will be a turnaround with this situation and that the future of our country will stand in good hands.
Jamaica will have to pay more tax. That's Jamaicans will have to pay more taxes to get further tax break. Finance Minister Audley Shaw told the House of Representatives on Tuesday that the taxes will fund Phase 2 of the government's $1.5 million income tax plan. We get more in this TVJ report.
The Finance Minister was asking MPs to approve the 2016 Provisional Collection of Tax Order. The order essentially paves the way for Phase 2 of the government's $1.5 million tax break plan. Audley Shaw said Phase 2 of the plan would be implemented in April 2017. It will see an increase of the income tax threshold, that's the portion of people's salary which is not subjected to income tax, to $1.5 million and $96. Responding, the opposition spokesman on finance, Dr. Peter Phillips, although throwing his support behind the order, again warned that new tax measures would be coming.
It is but a prelude, however, to the actual tax packages which will have to be announced by the minister when he speaks in the budget debate in order to pay for this particular modification to the Provisional Collection of Tax Act. So any comments that we would have further, we will wait until that time.
Then came the admission from the finance minister, who also said he would consider discussing the tax proposal with Parliament's tax committee before an announcement is made.
The more transparent we become, the better off all of us are. And I think our people, the people of the country, are expecting that level of transparency. We have not made this, Mr. Speaker, we have not made it a secret that we are moving from the direct taxation of personal income taxes towards indirect taxation. So it is an open book that we will have a replacement package, tax package, to replace the second phase of the personal income tax program.
And ahead in Newsline Sport, a third loss in the regional Super 50 for Windward Islands Volcanoes. Stay with us. Sport is next.
Get ready for the Caribbean's most original carnival, Dominica's Carnival, Mass Dominic 2017, February 4th to the 28th. Revel in the splendor of a masquerade band. Experience the parades, the non-stop fetes, Dominica nights, Dominiki do, Mass Dominic, the real mass. Come, revel with us. Visit us online at dominicafestivals.com or call us at 767-255-8221.
Ciao, Bella! Grab your girlfriends because we're all heading heading to the Concord Experience for the Girlfriends Expo and Arts Festival to experience La Dolce Vita. Yes, the sweet life. It's wine, cheese, pasta, pizza, plus the flavor and culture of Italy, while exploring the many deals from our exciting exhibitors. Saturday, February 4th and Sunday, February 5th, check out the all-new Arts Village, specialty events, seminars, the charity brunch, and the Vagina Monologues. We can't forget the fashion shows, live music, and more on the Neutrogena main stage. Get your early bird tickets now for only $20 from all TicketPal and Italia Coffee locations, or enjoy the all-inclusive VIP foodie experience for only $75. Art parties, rejuvenation, shopping, paparazzi, and good friends. It's Girlfriends Expo and Arts Festival, La Dolce Vita. Thanks to IGM, Purity Bakeries, Y103.3 FM, NCF, and Trident 10 TV.
Windward Island's volcanoes further complicated their route to the semi-finals of the Regional Super 50 when they crashed to their third loss of the tournament with a 4-wicket defeat to Kent Spitfires in Antigua on Tuesday. Centred at Coolidge Cricket Ground, volcanoes did well to recover from 91 for 5 in the 27th over to reach 241 for 5 off their 50 overs in an innings marked by 2 rain interruptions. This recovery was due to Sunil Ambrose, who top-scored with 50, his third half-century in 4 outings in the competition, and in-form all-rounder Kyle Mayers, who made a vital unbeaten 37. Andre Fletcher chipped in with 33, Captain Liam Sebastian got 32, while former West Indies captain Darren Sammy stroked a breezy 22. Fast bowler Callum Haggett finished with 4 for 59, while left-arm spinner Imran Quayum weighed in with 3 for 42. On the lights, Kent then produced a steady performance to comfortably overhaul their target with 23 balls remaining. They lost Daniel Bell-Drummond cheaply for 7 with the score on 14 for 1 in the 4th over, but Captain Sam Northeast struck 46, that's 49. Opener Sean Dickinson, 60, that's 36, and Darren Stevens, 21, to put the English county back on course. And Barbados pride captain Jason Holder is banking on his men to improve their game ahead of their next match. Holder lamented his side's poor batting in their match against Jamaica Scorpions on Monday. They were left reeling on 143 for 8 in the 34th over and scraped through the last 2 overs of the innings to get past Jamaica Scorpions' target of 190. Holder says there was need for a more controlled performance from batsmen.
Was the best, quite a few of our batsmen got out with some poor shots. We didn't think the game through as well as we possibly should. I just think it's a situation where we're reflecting on the way our batsmen got out. We could have been a lot tighter and held our wicket a lot better than we did. So going forward, that's one of the areas obviously we need to improve on. And when we get these small targets, we need to knock them off with authority.
And looking ahead to the next match against CCC Marooners, the Barbadian captain says they will not underestimate their next opponents.
It still puts us in good stead. We're still confident. We've won 3 from 3, and that's the main objective. To win out all the games here in this knockout phase and move on to the semi-final and deal with that. Going into this game against CCC, we can't take them lightly. They've been playing some pretty good cricket. They beat Jamaica, and Jamaica's counted as one of the better sides in the tournament. So we must take them seriously, and we must play them with all our full force.
Still in cricket, Bermudan left-hander Delray Rollins top-scored with 46 for England's under-19s, but they crumbled to a heavy 129-run defeat against their Indian counterparts in the second one-dayer at the Brabourne Stadium in Mumbai on Wednesday. Batting at number 6, Rollins struck 5 fours and 2 sixes in his 35-ball knock, using the sweep and reverse sweep to good effect. But England were bundled out for 158 in the 34th over in pursuit of a massive 288 for victory. Slow left-arm bowler Akul Roy finished with 3 for 34. Havik Desai with 75 from 62 balls, and opener Himanshu Rana, who made 58 from 66 balls after scoring a century in the first ODI, laid the foundation for the Indians' 287 for 8 off 50 overs. England captain Matthew Fisher was again his side's best bowler, claiming 4 for 44 from his 10 overs, while left-arm slow bowler Rollins, who is on the books of English county side Sussex, also gave up 44 runs in his 10 overs but failed to take a wicket. The 5-match series is now tied at 1-1 after Rollins' unbeaten 107 and 2 wickets helped England win the opener by 23 runs. We go over to athletics now. Officials in Jamaica believe that veteran sprinter Nestor Carter may get off easy from a case that was filed against him after testing positive for using a banned substance during the 2008 Beijing Olympics. Speaking to TVJ Sport, the official is claiming that the athlete's samples may have been mishandled by an international athletic body. We get more in this report.
A high-ranking Jamaican athletic official is saying the process of Jamaican sprinter Nestor Carter's positive sample for a banned substance was mishandled. Here's Television Jamaica with the story.
Having looked at the report of the IOC disciplinary tribunal, and some of the things that they did, it became obvious that really some missteps were probably made. And the lawyers, I think, in my opinion, have a very good case for for the case to be dismissed, that case, because it's Nestor Carter's right to request the analysis of his A samples. And the analysis of the A sample was done, the sample was done in 2 batches. It was analyzed in 2008 and again analyzed as an A sample in 2016. And the IOC disciplinary panel has decided that they will not provide the analysis of the 2008 sample. And to me, this is really a transgression of his rights and gives him an excellent ground for appeal.
Dr. Blake pointed to paragraph 73 of the IOC's ruling, which spoke to the athlete's right, in this case Carter, to obtain certificates of the A and B sample laboratory reports from his tests. He noted that Carter's legal team did not receive the A sample report from the Beijing lab before the hearing went ahead, despite requesting same.
And that's the sport. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Caribbean Newsline is brought to you by the Barbados Tourism Marketing Inc.
Get ready for the Caribbean's most original carnival, Dominica's Carnival, Mass Dominic 2017, February 4th to the 28th. Revel in the splendor of a masquerade band. Experience the parades, the non-stop fetes, Dominica nights, Dominiki do, Mass Dominic, the real mass. Come, revel with us. Visit us online at dominicafestivals.com or call us at 767-255-8221.
Grow your business or promote your event through the services offered by the Caribbean Media Corporation and CaribVision. Our distribution provides a platform on cable, terrestrial television, and websites. We cover carnivals and events from across the region. We can bring your event live and alive to the world. For music makers, program producers, businesses, we can expand your reach to in excess of 2 million households daily. Our other services include news updates to enhance your media products, studio space for program and development. We can facilitate the launch of new products and services and training. Contact us and we will help you unleash your creative ability, develop products and services, and provide the medium to watch them grow. Contact Loretta Skeet at cmccaribbean.com or call her 1-246-467-1044 or 1-246-253-3889. Call and book your carnival or event today. Again, the major developments of this day. Muslims in Barbados report increased U.S. visa denials and revocations. And in sport, a third loss in the regional Super 50 for Windward Islands volcanoes. That's Caribbean Newsline. For news and sport around the clock, log on to KhanaNews.com. We'll be back here again tomorrow. But from all of us at CMC News, thank you for watching and do have yourselves a very good night.